Welcome to Mojo Shop Guitar, baby. Well, welcome back to the channel, all you Mojo people. Oh yeah. Well, what have we here? Why, that looks like a Gibson made in the USA. You know, that's a little bit older of a guitar there. Let's see what's in there. I wonder. Let's check it out here. Let's turn it around. Sure is heavy, that's for sure. Slide her up on the table. Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's looking the part. Well, tell you what, I can't wait. Let's see what's in there. Let's see here. Let's get this one right here. You know how we do it. That one. Oh yeah. There's another one. Oh, it's got a combination lock. Look at that. First one with a combo. Must be something valuable in there, huh? And we get this one down here. And of course, there's one round back. Wham! Any more? Okay. Here we go. Let's see what's in there. Let's get right down here. This way, peek in. Ooh. What's in there? Oh, do you see it? Do you see it? Oh, looky there. Oh, it's got one of those shrouds over. It's got a cover on it. It don't want to be seen. It's got to be revealed. Let's see. Just wah 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 wah. You know, hey, look at that. Whoo, dog, shining. Look at that. This is a 2001 Les Paul Studio, and man, it is looking good. Well, we can't get a good look at the thing because it's in the shadows, kind of. But look at that, looking nice. But it needs to be set up. It's never been set up. Never had anything to do with it. Had all this time, 21 years, and well, it needs it. So let's get this thing out and see what she looks like. Looky there. It's black all over the place. Look at that. Back of that neck's real nice. It's looking good. Yeah, it's definitely a Les Paul. I'm noticing a couple things right now, though. There's only supposed to be two screws, or one screw holding in that Grover. I don't know what the other one is. Let's investigate here. See what we got going on. Yeah, that don't look right. We're gonna have to look into that. But it's got some Grovers on her. She's looking good. There we go. It's a Gibson Les Paul. Or is it? You know, they make a lot of fakes these days. I mean, is this a truly an authentic? You know, is it authentic, or is it a Chibson? I mean, it's looking the part. It's got a nice case. Looking the part so far, you know. It's hard to tell though from just looking at it at the outside. You know, the little telltale signs tell me, yeah, it's a real one. But hey, you never know. One thing I was kind of taking a look at was that Gibson up there. It's a little sus, but I'm not sure. Look how the dot is real close to the G's on the G, so I don't know. We'll have to take a look at her. But I'll tell you what, let's lay her back down here, and it sure does have a nice case though. Let's take it on over the bench and get it going, because it's, you know, it's screaming. But we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll get to the bottom. We'll see. We'll see if it's real or not. Well, I was just thinking, you know, this case here is one of those cases that's made in Canada. It's got a RL or something like that on it. But I think it's a Lufton case, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not really too hip on it, but let's see. You know, if it's a real Les Paul, it should have some credentials, shouldn't it? Let's see here. We got a yellow rag for wiping her down. Like we got some. Well, all right. Let's try this again. My camera decided it was just going to shut off. So let's see what's in this case here. Looks like we got some strap locks and the truss rod tool, the pick. Put that over there. So you got some extra strings here. What's this here? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get all this stuff out. Take a look what the heck we got here. It's really easy to do one-handed and hold the camera. Okay, I think that's it. Let's look in there. Is that it? Anything else in there? Oh, okay, good. Okay, well. Let's see. This looks like this. Okay, well, we looked through the case and we found some paperwork. And it looks like, let's see here. What's that say? That says Les Paul Studio Ebony. 1691 R, and then LA 1333, whatever that is. And it looks like it's been checked over. See, that looks like the Gibson USA pre-pack checklist. You know, it's starting to look like it's legit. And it's got a serial number and a date and model number and stuff like that. But we'll have to take a look at it, won't we? Okay, well, it's got a little bit of credentials to it, so maybe it's a real one. I have to go see what the underneath the pickups look like, right? And what the pots look like and all that kind of good stuff. If that stuff all looks legit, well, I think we might have a real one. We'll be right back. Well, let's take a look at this beauty. There she is. Getting a lot of light off that pickup. You know, it's seen better days. It's a little bit dirty. You know, it's got some smudges and stuff. But it is black. So it doesn't really show it too bad. But it needs to be freshened up. It needs to be cleaned real nice. Let's take a look at that fretboard, see what that's looking like. So we get a little side shine there. Yeah, it's getting there. But it's not too bad. Looking pretty good. You know, let's take a look at those inlays. Sometimes that's a dead giveaway, it says. If it's real. And they look pretty good and tight. Man, that looks like a bone nut. And that truss rod cover there, right there, looks pretty good. The last Chibson we had, this part right here, was real rough cut on the top of that truss rod cover. Was real bumpy. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. Get her cleaned up, get her set up, get her straight. So everything's check, right where it should be. Might even do something a little bit simple to it. I'm thinking I might put something on that black pick guard. And you know, see, the thing about it is this guitar belongs to my buddy Johnny. You know, this is the guitar that was in the comparison with the Epiphone versus Gibson video. And you know, that's something that, hey, if you don't like it, you can peel it off. It peels right off. You know what I mean? It's not anything that's permanent. It's going to ruin anything. So, you know, we'll see what he likes. So maybe we'll snazz it up just a little bit. Give it just a little bit of mojo character. In fact, we might even just put mojo on the side of it. I don't know. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's a good old black guitar. We're going to shine it up. We're going to get it looking real beautiful, playing real nice. I'll tell you one thing. I think he's going to be a happy man because, well, he's got a couple other guitars that we've mojoed, and you know, he gets them in his hands, and he's like, this thing plays beautiful. It's looking beautiful. It's, you know, it's doing what a guitar does. even better. You know, it does better than what a guitar is supposed to do. It's excelling as a guitar, I guess you could say. And we're going to make this one excel as a guitar. And you know, the thing about it is you get a guitar like this. And this is a kind of a no frills Les Paul. You know, there's no binding on it. You know, it's just painted. It's just, you know, you don't see any wood grain or anything like that. It's a studio, and studio means that it's meant to be a workhorse. It's meant to sound good and be durable, not necessarily look pretty, you know. And the thing about it is that a guitar like this could go somewhere, and the right hands could really go somewhere once it's in that sweet spot, once it's doing the things that a guitar does, and it's doing them real good, and it's feeling real good, and you know, it's just as easy to play as anything. And you know, that's where we're gonna get this guitar. We're gonna get that in the sweet spot where it's just, you know, where you don't want to put it down. Sounding so good and playing so good. Well, I'll tell you what, let's quit talking about it and go make it happen. What do you say? All right, well, here we are over at the bench. I'll tell you one thing, this is not a light guitar. This thing is, man, it is heavy. In fact, you know, I'm probably going to weigh it later, but not right now. Anyway, this is the first part of the, you know, the 21-point Mojo setup. And, you know, we get it over to the bench, and we take a look at it, and we kind of give it an assessment, look at everything, see if there's anything that looks funny or weird or anything like that, and we, you know, that way we kind of get an assessment of where this guitar is at. So we kind of take a look at it here, and, you know, everything is looking pretty decent so far. I don't see any cracks, or, you know, we like to look around by the pocket here, and there is just a little tiny bit of a crack right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. You can kind of see it right there. That's something that's kind of common with these, and it's not anything serious, I don't think, you know. And the pocket looks, where the neck is connected, looks pretty good. It's not pulling or anything like that, cracked. Back of the neck looks pretty good. But I'm noticing something with these tuners. Remember I said that they should only, well, let me see, I gotta get this thing in the shot. There we go. See, there's not supposed to be a screw at the top of that. And I think what happened is this had the regular, like, Chibson tuners on it, okay? That take a screw in the top and a screw in the bottom, okay? Somebody decided they wanted to put Grovers on it. And so what they did is they took the screws out, and then when they tried to fill that hole with just putting the screw in there, well, what they couldn't do is they couldn't get the tuner all the way in, because I don't know if you can see that, but that tuner is sitting off the deck. Every last one of them is sitting off the deck because that screw won't let it go down all the way. You can kind of see some daylight in there. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. But yeah, right there, you can kind of see that. There's daylight going through there, so we're gonna have to take that out. We're just gonna have to maybe we'll patch that up a little bit. We'll put some stuff in there. Then we'll fill those holes, or maybe we'll just leave them like that. Who knows? You know, who cares? It's a Les Paul studio. You decided to put some Grovers on, and you got some holes from the old tuners. I mean, it's not, you know. But that is another thing that was kind of, I don't know. I'm gonna look into that right there. You see how that, the dot from the I is like right up against the G? I've been looking at the Gibson logos since then, and it looks a little bit suspect. But, you know, that little loop on the end there, I think that on the end of that end too, I think that's right. But I'm not sure. We'll have to look into this a little bit more. But anyways, we're taking a kind of a look at it. You know, it's got a nice, looks like the nuts and everything okay. And, you know, we're going to start taking it apart here because we're going to put the strings on it. And at this point, we kind of assess how much we want to, let's get in the shot here. What do you say? We kind of assess how much we want to dive into this guitar. How far do we get, you know, how far do we tear it down? Tear it down all the way? You know, do we just get it down to, you know, a certain point? And I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off it. We're going to take the pickups out of it and stuff like that. Not out of it, we're just going to get them loosened up and stuff so we can see what the inside of the pickup cavity looks like. We take the, you know, take the stuff off, the knobs off, that kind of stuff, so that we can get a polish on the body. We get everything down so we can get a polish on the body. We'll do the fretboard. We'll get the get the tuners all squared away and everything like that. And we'll go through it like that, but I don't think we're going to like tear it down completely. We're not going to take the controls out of it or nothing like that, you know. We'll open up the back, we'll clean all the pots from inside right there, we'll clean the switches, we'll make sure everything is just straight, and we're going to go ahead and do the 21-point Mojo setup on it. So, first thing we did is we just kind of assessed it and everything like that, you know, and what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble this just as much as we possibly can. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out get the guitar in the shop. That's the first thing we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the strings off. So we're going to loosen up the strings here. Just give everybody a couple of turns so that when we go ahead and cut them, they're not under tension. I'm going to be loose. So we're not just going snap and they go off, okay? And now we got them loosened up. And we'll go in here and find my... Alright, well, I got a pair right here. These will do just fine. And we're going to go ahead, and we're just going to go ahead and cut these strings right off here. Easy peasy. Okay? And then we can go ahead and run them out the other end. We'll just take the tail piece. Just go ahead and take the tail piece right off with all those strings right in there. Leave it right over there. And now we can go ahead and slide this down just a little bit more. You know, that's the thing, you know, with a lot of guitars, I would, you know, take the neck off, and we do the neck just right here. And, you know, we do the body separate. Well, they can't do that with this one because it's all one piece, which is good. I want to do a video on, show you guys how to take a bolt-on neck and make it a set neck. It's really not that tough. Alright, we'll unwind all these strings off here. Now while we're unwinding this, we want to try to be careful not to be scratching things up. You know? And we also want to try not to poke a string through our fingers or something like that. There's nothing worse than getting the guitar string poked through the end of your finger. Believe you me. So you gotta be careful. Alright, we got those all off. Okay. And yep. Some were tightened down, but most of them were loose. Yep. So, you know what? We're gonna take the bridge off too, because that's gonna fall off here in a second. And we are going to go ahead and, seeing that we got it in the shot right here, we're going to go ahead and start taking these tuners off here and stuff. So let's get our crusty screwdriver, and I think that is a 10mm, I think, up here. Yes, it is a 10mm. And I think I get out just the socket. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take all of these off of here. Tell you what, let's get in the shot. There we go. Much better. So we're going to go ahead and take all the nuts off the front here. That takes a 10mm. And one thing I want you to notice too is these washers here. These washers have a beveled side, which is on the top, and then the back side is just flat like a regular washer. That beveled side, that kind of has a little bit of a hump to it, a little bit of a ring to it, goes up. So don't forget that. So we're going to go ahead and take all these off. Give me a second, I'm looking to see if I got a driver in there for this thing. By hand. I do right here. Makes it a wee bit easier. There we go. Much faster. You got time for all that. This Les Paul's going, hurry up and get me fixed up, man. I want to play good. I was playing pretty good before, but you know, you had a little fight in it. You know, and that's what we do. Kind of, we take the fight out of it. You know, you don't have to fight it. You don't have to, you know, press a little harder. Or, you know, do a little more. Just try to get it, you know, to play. You know, do what you want it to. This thing gives it up easy, easy peasy. And that's what it's going to do when we get done with it. It's going to be easy to play, and that's what you want. Something easy to play. Okay, we're going to look at that truss rod right there. And that truss rod looks righteous, I guess. It's not sticking out the end. It's not used up or anything like that. So we are going to go ahead and flip this over. Get the back side here. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to remove the screws for the they're actually holding the tuner in there. Look at that. That screw's hard, not even in there. Barely. You know, I hate to say it, but you see this screw right here. This is, you can tell I had a Chibson on there, but you know, if you do, you know, it's all well and good that you try to do something on your guitar and stuff, and I don't want to discourage that, you know, but you got to give yourself an assessment, you know, like what Clint Eastwood said, you know, a man's got to know his limitations, you know, you really do. I mean, this guy probably shouldn't have done this job. He probably should have left it to the pros, or should have took it over to his buddy or something, you know, had somebody take care of it. And switching over tuners and stuff, that's a real easy job, you know. But once again, you know, I say you know a lot. You know, getting Grovers on there instead of the Chibsons, that's all well and good and everything like that. And I can see why somebody would do that maybe, but you know, it doesn't really make much difference. If you go in, if you take your guitar that you just got brand new, or you got from somebody else, or you just got, basically, if you just got a guitar, it needs to be set up. So you take it to your guy and you get it set up, and he stretches the strings and he does everything to it that he's supposed to get it in that sweet spot so that it's perfect. Basically, it's perfect. You shouldn't have to change any of the components. If something's broken, yeah, fix it. But if nothing's broken, you should not have to change the tuners or the pickups or the pots or the nut and all that kind of stuff, or put fresh strings on it. You know, I could see maybe, you know, when you get a guitar, people want to put fresh strings on it and stuff. That's all well and good, but you know what? It's not really necessary. You can take a little bit of you know, take a rag, take a little bit of alcohol, and clean those strings up, and they should be just fine. They're strings, they haven't even been played yet. They put them on there just to be thrown away. It's you know, well, these are crappy strings. Well, strings are already only about $5-6 for a pack of Ernie balls, you know. So they're not, by putting cheap strings on there, they might be saving themselves a little bit, but you know, there's nothing wrong with those strings. You know, a guitar needs to be set up. I was just watching an Andertons video, and they were doing a Squire Classic Vibe, and you know, it's got the tremolo with the 6 screws on it, and ooh, that's got a little damage right there. You know, you try to use the trem, and it's out of tune. So you know, if a kid got that guitar brand new out of the box and stuff, it might play pretty decent like that, but that tailpiece is kind of locked down, you know, a little bit. It's a little bit tighter than it should be because they want it to stay in tune, you know. But as soon as he gets onto that thing, it's, you know, it's kind of hard to begin with, and as soon as he goes back, it's out of tune. You know, you got to take it into a guy who knows how to set those up, and to get them so they're just right. So it's either floating or it's blocked off, or you know, do what you want to do with it. But you know. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's not just because I do setups. In my humble opinion, a setup is the best money you can spend on your guitar. Without a doubt. It is the best money that you will ever spend. Getting your guitar in the sweet spot is just, because it don't come like that. And you can play guitar for years and years and years, and you know, you bought it and you spend lots of big money on it and stuff, and it's still fighting, and you get kind of used to that stuff. And then when you get one that doesn't fight you, one that's been set up right and that plays nice and smooth and easy and stuff like that, you don't know what you've been missing. You're like, whoa, what's this, you know? And then you know, you're gonna want something like that all the time. just like my friend Johnny. Johnny has the silver tone that we set up that he has a video. He's got that silver tone, and man, he says it plays like a dream. You know, and he's getting all his guitar stuff, which is great, which is what you should be doing. Okay, I'm gonna get these parts set off to the side here a little bit so they're not in the way. You know, tuners and all that good stuff. You gotta keep the screws and everything away from the bodies and junk, because you know you have something laying on the bench and you drag the guitar across it, and pretty soon you got a big scratch on somebody's guitar. All right, let's turn this over right here, and let's get in the shot here. There we go. I'm gonna get a little drink of coffee. All right, let me set this back down this way a little bit. Uh-oh, the wife should be home just about any minute. Okay, we're just gonna take a couple of these things out, you know. Ooh, that's not one to come out of there. Yeah, that's in there tight too. Well, I'll tell you what. We are going to take a break for lunch, because it is lunchtime around here. And we are going to come back and take this thing apart, and then we're going to get the body all polished up and good stuff like that. So we will be right back. All right, we're back from lunch. And the dentist had to go take my daughter to the dentist. She's got all her stuff taken care of, but now we're back to taking care of this nice Les Paul here. We're going to go ahead and take the stuff out so we can polish up this body a little bit. We're not going to use the buffer on it or nothing like that. We're just going to hand polish it. So I don't think that it needs it really too bad. We'll take all these knobs off. We have some of them will cooperate a little bit better than others. So what we'll do is back a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. We'll stick that underneath there, and we're just going to give it a little help. In fact, I got aha, there's what we need. No, that is not what we need. I swear I spent more time looking through this thing. Oh, where did they go? Someone stole them, obviously. Okay, well, we're just going to have to use the old clothespin trick. See, the clothespin is wood, and we'll get underneath that front edge there a little bit. And then we usually can get those busted loose. There's one. And we'll turn it. Do that side. Do this side. Do this side. Side, and there we go. Pop right off there. And we'll do this side. Turn it around. There we go. All right, got all those off there. Yeah, those are some CTS pots. You can tell whether, I don't know what kind they are. We gotta look in the back here. Could be, maybe not. Oh, those are in there pretty good. What's holding them in there? Something's holding them in there. Let's see if we can get this one out. That's a tight fit. Whew. Some junk down in there. Okay, we're gonna need something a little bit bigger than this. I don't have a big screwdriver, a big screwdriver. I need a big one. Huh. Well, tell you what, I'll be right back when I can find something to get this out of here with. Alright, well, we got this last tailpiece mount bolt out, and these threads haven't, I mean, you know, I don't think this stuff has moved ever, so they were a little bit hard to get out of there. So what we did is we put a little bit of oil on there. I put a little bit of oil on there. Yeah, I'm gonna drop my tool. All right, and now I put a little oil on there and I run it down the thing, and now I'm gonna wipe it off. Put a little more oil on it, just a little bit. Okay, and run it back down in there one more time. Just getting some oil on those threads good. Make sure this ain't gonna hold up no more. Ooh, I don't want to go down all the way. Yeah, we ate them all the way. And I'm really trying to do this without marring this up, because these bolts here, or at least whatever you want to call them, you know, somebody gets in there and they just hack them all up, and it's, you know, a piece of jagged metal on there. You got to file it down, or you got to, you know, or cut you up. All the way down there. Oops. Be careful. There, now that's all the way down. See? So give me a little trouble. That's the kind of things that you run into. These don't go down so well. Okay, so we've got to make sure they do. You know, everything's got to work right. The screws all got to go together right. You know, if a screw's stripped out, can't leave that either. Doesn't go in good, or it's stripped or something. So this time we're just put a little right down the hole there. Like that one, just put a little drop some more in there, just so it gets a. Good job. Good thing we're buffing this later, huh? Okay. Run it all the way down. Make sure everything is working just right. Yeah, see, it's still sticking on that last little bit there. See, we'll just get it down in there. We'll work it back and forth like that. Yeah. Just take the time, make it right. Alright, that's coming out of there. Working good. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Wipe off the other thing. Put some oil down there real good. Okay. Put a little oil on there. Alright. Shoot down there. I think this one came out, but it was a little bit difficult. See, let's try and do that last little bit stuff too. So we'll just do this. Yeah, it's a nice little guitar. Not too bad. I can get it better though. You know, I don't know how much this thing was brand new. You know, probably right around a couple grand, case and all. Still needs to be gone over. Still needs to be made sure that everything, you know, because once you buy it, it's your guitar. It's your responsibility. You know, you want a good guitar, it's up to you to go make sure that that guitar is right. That, you know, everything's playing right, and if you take it to somebody that you trust and you know, and they, you know, get in the sweet spot for you, so it's playing real good, and then you get the full benefit of that, all that money that you spent on it. I mean, there's no sense in having a really expensive guitar. There's no sense to have any guitar that isn't set up properly and is ready to play. I mean, that's kind of the coup de grace. I mean, it's like getting a car and it's not tuned up. You know, yeah, sure, you got a car and it drives around and stuff, but it gets bad gas mileage, and it, you know, doesn't really have that great of acceleration and stuff like that. You know, you know, that's what kind of a guitar you're playing. One that's, you know, it gets you around, but you know, it's not great. You got to fight a little bit. You got to play a little extra hard. You got to press down a little extra hard. You know, doesn't sound as good as some other guitars. You think that, well, maybe I just need some better pickups, or maybe I need another amp, or I need to change the strings, or I need some new tuners, or, you know, whatever. And that's really not the problem. You need your guitar set up. You know, that's the whole thing. You need it set up. It's the best money you can spend on a guitar. It's the best mod you can do. The best mod is a good setup. Okay, I can live with that. That goes in and out pretty good. There, drag it across the body a little bit. Yep. And we're polishing this thing up. Alright. Got that out of there. Alright. Let's take this pick guard off here. Get this on the side there. You see that? You just got one screw over here on the side, and then another one that goes into the body, and you don't have to take this big fat one out. You don't have to take that one out. You just take this one out. That one there holds the bracket to the plate. You just leave that right on there. Take that off there. Got some dusty in there. Looks even kind of nice without the pick guard on, doesn't it? It's like a real rocker now. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this button off of here. And then we're going to take our little ring off. Somebody wants me. Tell you what, I'll be right back. Okay, false alarm, it wasn't nothing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take that off there. Okay. So now we can just kind of push that knob back, push that down in there a little bit. So I don't want to totally get rid of those or pull them out or anything like that. I just want to get it so that's kind of out of the way. So then when we polish this all up, we can get it polished real nice. And I'm going to go ahead and take these rings off of here, off these pickups too. But we're going to take a peek underneath these pickups, see what she's got to say. Look underneath this bridge one. Let's see what's going on. I've been feeling though this thing is just it's a Gibson. There's no. I'm about 90% sure here. Yep, there you have it. Right there. That pickup says Gibson USA right there. Let's see if we can't zoom in a little bit on that. I think we half hour to zoom in. There we go. Can you see that? It says Gibson USA. So yeah, it's a Gibson. It sure enough is. But what we are going to do is we're going to zoom back over here a little bit. Okay, right about there, got that one. And I had a stupid rag around here. Oh, there it is. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set that up there like that. We'll go ahead and take these screws out of here, because I want to get these pickup rings off here so that we can get them cleaned up nice, and you really can't do that good of a job on them when they're on the pickup. That way we can give the pickup a nice polishing and everything will be happy. You know, I want this to look just as fresh as it possibly can. You know, we're kind of restoring it. We're going through it, but we're kind of restoring it too, you know. Make sure everything's just right on it. Okay, we're going to set that right over here. Okay. Take a look at that pickup right there. Oh yeah, that's a nice Gibson USA pickup. Definitely is. Okay, we're going to set that right back down in there. Just like that there. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing over here. And basically what we're going to do here, I think this is our plan of attack here. I'm going to put these screws over here with that one. And see, because this one has a little bit longer screws. The back bridge pickup always has a little bit longer screws. A little bit longer mounting screws in the back. In the front, they are the same size as the other ones. So you got to keep an eye on that stuff because you got two different size screws. Go ahead and take that out. That over there. That's one of the long ones in the back there. Right there, okay. We're going to go ahead and just go ahead and take these screws right down too. Okay. Come on, screw. This thing is long. I still ain't got me one of those, you know, power drills, battery operated drill. I sure would like to get one of them, but it's not in the budget yet. Yeah, there we have it, another Gibson USA, and that is all they say on it. It doesn't say bridge. It doesn't say nothing. So I'm assuming they're both the same pickup. Okay, we got those all out of there. Now we are going to take off drop our pots down a little bit, so we can get in there and buff that up real nice and tight. And is it that size right there? Nope, it's not that size. No, it ain't that size. Maybe this size. Nope, not that size. What size is it? I don't know, we'll try this one here. That's probably not it. Oh, that works. No, it does not really. Not working good. We'll try that one. Nope. Alright. I guess I'm done fooling around trying to find it. So we'll just use this. That's loose. Tell you what, before we go taking this part, I'm taking that off there, let's take a look at the back. I've already taken the cover off. In fact, here's what I'm going to do too, just for shits and giggles here for a second. We're going to take just a little bit of tape, put it over those pickups so they don't go flopping around all over the place. Just a little piece in there to hold them in while we're there, flipping around. There we go. That'll hold them right in there, nice. Okay, I went ahead and took the back off, and you can see right there. I think it's the verdict is in. This is definitely. These are definitely. That's definitely a Gibson because if you can see it right, but that pot says Gibson on it. That is definitely the way Gibson does it. There ain't no Chibson in there, so I think we're on the safe side there. And it all looks pretty good in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop these knobs right straight down. So we can get that out of the way so we can go ahead and do our polish job. We'll get this all nice and polished up. Come on, Mr. Washer. All right, well, we'll try these. We'll have to flip it upside down. Get them to fall off. Well, he's like, I've been on there for 11 years now. I mean, 21 years. Yeah, no, that's right. It's a 2001, so it's 22 years old. 21 years old. Jesus Christmas. It's getting rough these days. Okay. That will move down just a little bit. That's all we're going to do, just move it down about like that right there. That's all I want to do. Okay, I'm going to take this tape off here. Okay. Alright. And we can go ahead, what we're going to do is we're going to buff this side of the body, okay? We'll get this nice and looking real good. And then we're going to turn around and we'll put all the nuts and everything back on here and the rings and everything. And then we'll go ahead and buff the back of it. So the first thing that I want to do, though, is I want to clean it off a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go, give me a nice little rag. So I'll be right back and we'll get a rag. Alright, I hate to say it, but I'm back. Okay, let's widen out a little bit. Okay, basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of wipe this down a little bit. Try to get some of the stuff off of it. Get in there where all the places are. I'm going to wipe down the sides. Oops. Forgot about that pickup. Alright. Set that back. You back in there. Until you go anywhere. Okay. Try to get some of this little schmutzy stuff off of here. You just want it to be kind of clean, you know. We're just trying to clean it up a little bit. I'm just using a little bit of water on this rag. Sometimes I'll use some rubbing alcohol on them. But the nitrocellulose that they put on these, and I don't know if this one's got it on it. It might not, but I ain't whisking it, so I'm just using water and a rag. That's going to have to get it cleaned up before we buff it. Okay. Alright. You can see that it's got some, I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some scratch marks, stuff right here. We're going to get all that stuff out of there real sweet here. Okay. Now, take this rag that we got. The sock. Oh yeah, the sock. Okay. Let's get the rubbing compound. Okay. I got some Turtle Wax Clean Finish rubbing compound. And this is a final rubbing compound. This is what's going to take out all the little fine stuff, and it's not going to really cut a lot. It's not going to really scratch a lot. It's just going to take out all the little fine stuff. So then we can go ahead, and after we use this, we can go ahead and polish it up a little bit, and we can put some wax on it. We can put some other stuff on it, and it will, you know, look real nice. Okay. I'm going to take my rag that was wet, so I kind of get this wet again. A little bit of extra moisture never hurt nobody. Okay, we'll start down here. We're just going to start giving a little bit of swirlies. That's all we're going to do. Just going to rubber. See, I'm just kind of working this side here a little bit. And I'm not trying to leave a nice even pressure on the rag here. Not trying to like poke one finger in there and nothing like that, because I don't want to leave, you know, a single swirly mark. Just want to make it look nice. We get in between all those knobs and everything real good. Yep. This is going to polish her up real nice. Black always cleans up nice. Shows all the scratches, but it always cleans up nice. See, we'll just keep rubbing this and rubbing this and polishing and polishing. And we kind of want to rub this till it's dry, until we've pretty much just rubbed it all right off of there. So we'll keep on going. I'll tell you what, we're going to keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and when we get done, we'll be right back. Well, alrighty, we went ahead and did the back side here, and now we're going to take our stuff. We're just going to clean this off a little bit. Trying to find my other wax. Don't see it. Just wipe that off a little bit. So that schmutz off there. And we'll just dry it off. Okay. Now we can go ahead and put some stuff on it. If I can find it. Tell you what, I'll be right back in a minute when I find my wax. Alright, we are back. And I don't know if you can see that, but we went ahead and we waxed this back side with the wax. And look how, it's like a mirror. Look how beautiful that turned out. I mean, that's nice. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the front here. Those back in there. Holmes. Alright. Alright, and we gotta get this stuff out of the way here. Oh, there's junk. Too much junk. Okay. Now, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the same thing to the front. So we do the back. So, tell you what, you guys can go ahead and watch that, because we can watch this. We're going to use the buffer on it. I had to use the buffer on it. We're going to buff it and wax it. So, what we're going to do is we'll take our little rag here. We're going to put just a little bit of the buffing compound on there. Okay. So we already kind of buffed this up a little bit, so we're just going to kind of get it. So there's some stuff on there, okay? Alright. Just get a little bit of junk on there. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and take our good old crusty dusty buffing wheel here. So we got a nice little buffing wheel. Just going to kind of go over this and that'll get caught up in the cord. Get in there between everything. Alright. Alright. We went over pretty good with that. Now what we're going to do is wipe it down. Okay. A nice little wipe down, a little wet rag. That old rubbing compound off there. Okay. Alright. Now, what we're going to do, so we're going to give it just a little spritz of this here car wax. Just, it's just simple little sprayed, spray on car wax. Nothing special, but it does the trick. Spray a little on there. Rub it around a little bit. Okay. Rub it around. Gonna get everywhere. Stuff works really good. I like this stuff. I've had this bottle for years, and it works great on cars. It works great on anything you want to put a nice little shine on, and it does it. Okay? Alright. We got some of that on there. Now we're just going to take a clean, dry cloth, or in my case, a bath towel. We just start wiping her down. Nice and shiny. This is where the shine comes on. Oh, whoa. Dang. I mean, I thought it was, you know, I wasn't expecting it to be this shiny. It turned out really, 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 really nice. Wow, look at that. That is nice. Right in there. Oh yeah. And you know, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go over this one more time with a little bit of more of the wax. We're going to do one more little shot across here. And this we're just going to sort of run it around with our fingers here. Trying to get some everywhere. I don't know what this stuff's made out of. It feels like water, but it sure does do a pretty good job, I think. I was impressed. Okay. I'm just going to whip it off. Just about that easy. Just about that easy. Look at that. Don't get much easier peasier than that right there. That sucker's got a nice little shine to it. Oh yeah. And then pickups. They got a little nice little shine to them too, right off the bat. Okay. So, now the next thing that I think I want to do here is I want to pull these pots back up. We'll get this front side all back squared away so everything's straight in here and here again, okay? What we're going to do is we're just going to flip this over a little bit. Back over here. Just make sure everything's sitting in the way it's supposed to be. Any hinkiness going on. Oh, don't you be scratching up my stuff. Gotta get those back in there. Okay. Let's get our little washers on there. Where's our washers? There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, let's put some nuts on there. Oh yeah, she shined up real nice. I love the smell of that stuff. It just smells like, you know, like smells like a new, fresh, clean car. Push this through on the one side a little bit. And then we'll get this one on there. Come on. Get on there, little guy. There we go. Alright, now we're cooking. Alright, where's the wrench? Real careful, get these back on here good. Nice and tight. And there we are. Okay, now I'm not going to put the knobs back on these quite yet, because I do want to still do some things to it, you know. So I might want to give it a last rub down, or, you know, shine it up one more time without the knobs on it. So gotta do that. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to get our switch back up in there. So we'll pull that back up. And check out our switch there, our little thingy. I think what we will do is we will get a little alcohol. We'll clean that off just a little bit. It won't mess it up or nothing. Good job. Alright. Alright, she's good and clean. Let's put that on there. And where's the nut right there? And there we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Oop. Let's see here. Be right back. Alright, I had to take that phone call. That was a good buddy of mine. Nice guitar player around town here. We're talking about getting some jam nights going. I'm gonna go out to a place tonight, play a little music, let my hair down a little bit, so to speak. Alrighty then, we got this thing all buffed up. We can get this old buffing wheel out of here. And we're starting to get things back together. I went ahead and I polished up the rings around that go around the pickups there. And I'm getting this in here, but it's not straight, so we've got to, well, I'll tell you what, let's put these pickups in here first. Let's get them installed first before we go and fool around with that. So we'll do this first one here. Oh, we gotta make sure we put them on the right way, because that goes that way. Right. And I always love these little springy things. They're so fun to try to get going. But let's see if we can do it. Can he do it? Alright, and we get the screwdriver in there without bashing up my finger. Yes. Got it. Let's do the other side, Clyde. Screw. And the spring. There we go. You know. Ooh, there we go. Whoop. So if this side goes as easy as the other side did, huh? Sometimes you can get these suckers, man, they ain't too bad, and other times you get them and they are a pain. They don't want to cooperate at all. So where it needs to be, please start. Yes, we got it. All right. Let me set that right back in there like that. All right. Yes, sir. What is the problem here? All right, we're getting up in the neighborhood. All right, let's put our screws back in. A 1, a 2, a 3, Where's the other one? God damn it. And the food. There we go. Put them back in there. And I don't want to put these all the way down all the way. I just want to get them started, get them in there. And then once we get them all kind of going, and you know, 3/4 of the way, and then we'll go back and finish them up. Just want to make sure everything's straight, the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Alright. Now we'll go ahead and cinch them down. There we go. You don't want to turn them, you know, like, try to, like, dynamite the screws down. Just get them so they touch. Alright, there we go on that one. Okay, now let's go put this one back together. Ah, there we go. Alright. There we got our ring. Ring all the way over here. So we got that going the right way. Yeah, going right there, because there's a little bit of a ramp to it. If you see that ramp right there, see how it's wider at one end than it is the other? You want the wide side towards the back. Well, those little things. You gotta, you know, when you take this apart, you gotta take a look at things and just, you know, be aware of what's going where and why and all that good stuff. I just remember something. I promised the family ribs for dinner. I better hurry up and get them in instead of fooling around with this guitar. Alright, well, we gotta at least get these pickups in. Alright. Uh-oh, she's gonna fight me, isn't she? She's not liking it. I don't wanna go. But you love this guitar. I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna do this. We will be right back. Alright. Well, I finally got them suckers in. God, I hate them things. Alright. Let's get these screws in here. The long ones go on the back. So we get it all polished up, we got it cleaned up. Okay. Yep, get it all cleaned up. Get that back together like that. And one more. And we're just going to go back and just snug them just a little bit. Just for, so, and then we're going to raise this up so this just level with the pickup ring. Just moving these, moving up and down good. Okay, that's pretty good right there. Okay, we can go ahead and put our tailpiece screws back in. Okay. So we go all the way down just by hand. Okay. Get those down there like that. Alright. Alright, we got those all back down there. Alright. Next thing we got to do is I want to straighten out this switch, because that switch should not be like that. So, we're going to come around to the back over here. And we're going to take this back plate up. I'm doing my imitation of Tony Beats. If you guys know who that is, write in the comments below. One of our favorite shows on Discovery or whatever it is. Alright, we're going to take that off there, and what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of get in there. We're going to turn that switch just a little bit so that it's in the right position. So we'll take it very, very carefully. Turn that back just a little bit, okay? And then we want to turn that one so it's going right down to the treble. Right there is where we want it. Okay, now we can go ahead and tighten that up. So we're holding it from the back. You don't have to get that one very tight. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Here, put our little tip on the end there. Okay. All right, and we'll put our back on there. Our back on after we wipe it off a little bit. It's still got some compound in it and junk. And we'll take this opportunity to go around in there and clean that out too. Right in there. Alright. Put our lid back in there. There we go. And what I do with the screws are right there. Alright, 1, 2, and 3. Alright. 2 hands on the screwdriver to screw those in so we don't accidentally slip, scratch anything. And I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to clean these pots out. Well, we're just basically going to lubricate them and basically just lubricate them. It'll lubricate them and clean them out a little bit. And we're just going to spray a little bit of basically silicone all-purpose lubricant in there, a little bit of WD-40 basically. And I don't know if you can see this right here. We'll show you right here, but we'll zoom in. We've seen this before. Right, let's get up. What we'll do is we'll go in on the pot right here, on the back of the pot, right in there. There's a little opening. You can get the tip of the squirter right in there. In fact, let's see if we can. See if we'll get the tip of the turner right in there, just like that. There, you can see that. We'll just give it a little squirt. We'll let that sit in there, and then what we'll do is we'll come around the front and we'll start turning that pot back and forth. When we stuck the lubricant in, we'll start turning that knob back and forth, and you'll feel that it will get a little bit easier to turn. Okay, and that will get in there and clean all the you know, all the crap that's been in there, anything that gets in there, we'll just get it cleaned up, okay? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that to all 4 of these pots. And you can feel that it's getting a little bit easier just to turn right now, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back when we get done doing that. Alright, we got the pots all lubricated and everything. They're real nice in there. And we're just kind of going in with a little piece of toilet paper there just to kind of clean things up a little bit. And yeah, those pots do say Gibson on the very, very top. Very, very top. So now we can go ahead and put our back plate back on it. If I can find the back plate. Where'd it go? I'm already losing stuff, ain't I? There it is, back there. It's hiding. Chump. Okay. Get a little bit of clean on it. Just rub it off a little bit. Make sure she's nice and shiny clean before we go putting it back on there. Okay. Okay. That bit right there where it goes. Okay. Put the 4 screws back in there. It's coming along real nice. It doesn't take very long or very much to get your guitar in shape, you know. It's mainly just looking at things, checking things out, make sure everything's right. You know, if you see anything looks funky, everything don't look right, address it. You know, get it going right. You know, you just gotta learn. I didn't know this stuff, but I had, you know, a guy teach me, show me the ropes, show me all the tricks, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, wipe that down real nice. Oh man, it's just, the back of this is just shiny, shiny, shiny. What's that? It's a little spot that doesn't want to do anything. Okay, that's all right. Okay, let's flip her back over. Okay, we got our pickups back in there. We got our switch on real nice. Getting everything, keeping everything nice and shiny, clean. Oh, look at that. Look how them pickups are shining. We got the rings, we got all the scratches out of the rings. There were scratches in the rings, in the pickup rings. There were scratches right here. We got all that taken care of. We got all that out of there. You know? Batting 1,000 here. Okay? So I think we can probably go ahead and put these knobs back on there if we just, we'll see how they clean up, if they need anything. Maybe we'll just clean these off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and toilet paper. Just a little bit. We're just about done with this body. Put these knobs back on and make sure they clean up good. You know, these things get touched a lot. They get lots of hand grease and junk on them. So we'll clean these up real nice. These old knobs, boy, they've been using these things forever and a day. Most of the guitars I've ever had have had these kind of knobs on them, you know? Like the universal guitar knob, I swear. Oh yeah, looking nice and clean. Okay, so gotta turn down, we'll turn them all down. Right there, okay. So we're at 0. 0. Yep, 0. Okay, and 0. Yeah, I don't like that one. Let's try that one on there. Is that? Seems to be a problem here. This thing does not like me. There we go. Now sticking down on there good. And now for the coup de grace, the very last one. Get that one on there. And 0, there we go. I'm sorry. Tight. Alright. Knobs on it. Shooting up to 10, man. 10, everything's on 10. Alright, those all work good. Everything's nice and smooth. Everything's nice and looking nice and shiny. Go ahead and put these back in. Our bridge studs, posts, whatever the hell you want to call them. Goes all the way in. And now we can start on the body. I mean, we can start on the neck and the headstock and stuff. Alright, sound good? Alright, boy, she's looking fine. Look at that. Man, it's looking clean. That's a clean guitar. Polished right up real nice, man. You know, $100. That's what I charge to go through and do this to your guitar. We make it play like I ain't never played before. Alright. We're moving on to the neck here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to clean out all the junk and gook and schmutz and stuff. We're going to take some rubbing alcohol and a piece of toilet paper. We're going to clean that up. Now I want to keep this away from the body. But we're going to get in here, we're going to clean all this up real nice. Yeah, it's got a little bit of dirt on it. Not too bad, but a little bit. Some people, they wash their hands before they play, you know, and they make sure everything's nice and clean. You know, try not to get the fretboard all dirty. And your guitar appreciates that, you know. Good enough dirt in the fretboard as it is. That's for that right there. Okay, now what we are going to do is we're going to get out our tools and find our feeler gauge, little floppy little feeler gauge here. And get out our straight edge, and our floppy feeler gauge. In fact, I think what I want to do now is I want to clean up some of these tools that I am not going to be needing in the near future. Get rid of these strings that are left over. There we go. Alright, those are out of there. We'll put that back over there. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, looking much better. Okay, tell you what, move this a little bit so we're down here, just junk a little bit. Alright, bam. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take the straight edge and we're going to steer it right across the top of these strings here. And we're going to take this little tiny feeler gauge, which is just a little tiny paper thin, and we're going to go across this from the back. What we'll do from the side, from the front. We're going to start feeling the distance between. Does that slip underneath there? Yes, it does. Okay. So we know that this is low in the middle. We're going to try to get this fretboard as flat as possible. Now it doesn't go under the ends, but as soon as you get to the second fret, third fret, it starts going underneath there. So we're a little bit low in the middle, as you can see, but then it gets down here, so you can kind of see how that's going through there. Okay, so what do we got to do? We got to tighten the truss rod a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, I'm going to get Johnny's truss rod tool over here out of the case, because you know that makes it easy. Alright, got the tool. Alright, take this, we're going to tighten this truss rod down here. See, we're going to take this, just put it right on the end of this here, and we're going to give it a tighten. Alright, and we just need to tighten it a little bit. And then we will go back once again, take our, take our straight edge, we'll stick it across here. We're going to see what's going on now. Still touching on the end, but it's still just about the same as it was before. Okay, so we want to tighten it up just a little bit more, just a little bit. And now I'm going to kind of go like this with the two, just a little bit to kind of help it go in the direction it wants to. And you know, I don't know how much that helps, but it makes me feel better. Okay, and it still goes underneath there. Still hitting on the ends, but still going underneath the middle, so we got to tighten it up just a little bit more. Okay. Alright. Now, we'll try it again. There we go. We got the valley out of it. You know, it was a little low in the middle. We got rid of that. Let's make sure that it's still not slipping underneath the ends. That is right where we want it. Nice and flat, I think. Okay, yes, that is good. Nice and flat. You gotta measure that, and you gotta start off with a flat board. Now see, I'm gonna explain something too. When I first started doing this, you know, I thought you had to have one of these straight edges with the notches in it, you know, so it can sit over the top here like this, and you can look through the wood and you can see where that is. You know, I don't care about the wood. All I care about is putting this straight edge right here across the top of these frets to see where they are, because that's what has to be flat. Okay, so we got that flat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our leveling block here, and we're going to take our little black magic marker here, and we're just going to make a little black line right over the top of each one of these frets here, okay? And you guys have seen this before, and I'm going to put that little black mark on there, and then when we sand that off, when I see that we've sanded all that black marker off of there, off these frets, then that's when I know that they're level. They don't have any more marker on them. It takes a little minute, but definitely worth it. Yeah. And you get to smell the magic marker too. Right. Really try not to get this on the fretboard, but if you do, it's not no big deal. So it will come off. Like right there. It's hard to get it all the way down without getting any on there, but it's not a big deal. Alright, and you know, that's another thing. You know, you see a lot of guys, okay, we better tape off that fretboard. Man, you ain't got to tape off that fretboard. That's some hardwood, that stuff, and you ain't going to mess that stuff up unless you start gouging on it, which means you don't know what you're doing, so you shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Okay, now this leveling beam here has a nice little piece of 600 paper on it that's been used for about the last year, and it's probably down to about 1,000 by now, but it is just enough to take the top of this off of here and get this marker off there and make it nice and level. So what we're going to do is we're basically just going to set this on there, and we're going to start going back and forth. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth. We're not putting really any pressure on it at all. Just going back and forth over the frets, moving our way across. Okay. Okay, now I went over it a few times, and I'm just kind of want to go back over and see where it's taken off where it's taken, which ones are clean, which ones don't have anything left on them anymore. And there's some black marker left on this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. But there's a little bit on this one, and they start getting clean again. And so we're just a little bit, they're a little bit low right there in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and get them up a little bit. So we'll just keep working this back and forth. We're not too far off from being where we need to be. And you know, you can kind of feel, I've done enough of these to know that you can kind of feel when you're getting there. Because the whole, you know, it starts off and it's a little bit bumpy, and then after a while it smooths right out, and it's look at that, it's just about getting there. It's a little bit longer, a bit more. And I kind of wipe off my stuff a little bit, the paper on the towel just a little bit to keep it cleaned out, you know. Okay, now I've been going over it in this direction right here, and we're going to take a look at it, and we're getting real close to being all the way through, but I'm going to just kind of go this way too a little bit, because what, you know, I'm making scratches in the metal one way, now I'm going to make some scratches in it this way. And we'll check. And we're getting real close. You know what I think I might do is I might give this truss rod just another half of a, just a skosh of a turn. Just to raise that middle up just a little bit. And that feels better right there, see? Feels smoother when I'm doing it right there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Let's see, are we hitting all the way across? You bet. I don't see any marker anywhere. That's right. Yeah, it's looking real good. We'll do that edge over there just a little bit more. But by George, I think we got it. Now we're just going to go back and forth over it this way too. Just sort of, and I'm not putting any pressure on it either. I'm more or less trying to polish the frets a little bit right now. You know, go over the edge a little bit. That way we can use them a little bit of smoothing over. Go over this edge just a little bit. Make sure you don't hit the paint. Alright, there we go. Bam. Done. Alright. We've gotten this far. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and crown these frets here. So, but I got to go take care of something right quick, so I will be right back. Alright, so we got the fret file out here, and we leveled the frets, and now what we're going to do is we're going to crown the frets. When we leveled them, we flattened off the top of them a little bit, you know, from leveling them. And now what we want to do is we want to put a nice little point on the top of those so they're not flat anymore, because, well, the string will slide across it better and it'll give it a more of a definite place to sit. So we know that these are medium jumbo frets, so we're going to use our medium setting here on the old fret file here, and we're just going to kind of go across these here. And sometimes we'll put some black marker on them, but lately I haven't been, because it's all kind of feel, you know, like when you first start sanding something, it feels kind of rough and then it feels smooth. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. We're just kind of going over these till they feel smooth. Some of them feel a little smoother to begin with, so. But we're just going to kind of go over all these right here till they feel right. Tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going up and down the row here, and we will be right back. Alrighty, we got all the frets all crowned off, real nice like. And now we're going to take this little tiny file right here, and we're going to round over the edge of these frets right here. And we want these frets to have a little bit of a, see, they're kind of sharp right across the end here now. We want them to have want it to be like a little ball on the end here. So we're going to kind of take and, well, let's tighten it again. Okay. We're going to take this front edge right here. Oh, we're going to go back here like this. Okay, we'll take this file. And what we're going to kind of do is we're going to kind of start in here, and we're going to kind of go over like that. Just kind of rounding it over and over. We're going to do that on each one of these. And as you can see, we're kind of hitting the side, and then we're hitting the top. We're going over the top. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of do this to all those on both sides. And that is going to round over, do the fret ends. That's how you do the fret ends. You go and you do that to every last single one of them. And then after you get done with that, then you go over it with a little bit of sandpaper, and you get them nice and smoothed out. You get the little, so that it's a little bit smooth, a little bit smoother. And you do that to both sides, and then you're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and down and do all these frets all the way up and down here. And And when we get done doing all these frets here, we will be right back. This kind of stuff takes a while. You guys want to sit here and watch me file on this for the next, 20 minutes. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back. We're here, and we went ahead and did a few things. We went ahead and rolled the fret edge. What we did here is we take this little piece right here, and we just sort of scrape along here. Just kind of roll that over just a little bit so that it feels nice and broke in. Just a little bit of something, something. That's all it is, just real nice and easy. Not trying to do anything. And then we went overhead and we polished it with the steel wool. Went ahead and polished it with some steel wool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to polish it with some polishing compound. And we'll get out our polishing compound here. And what we're basically going to do is take a little bit of a rag right here. I'm just going to put a little bit on the top. A little bit on our rag, and we're going to rub it into the fret. We're going to take a little bit of this, and it's not going to mess with anything on the fretboard or anything like that. So we're just, we'll take a couple of frets at a time, kind of polish them up real nice. There we go, right there. Now those look just a little bit more shiny than the others. See, these are smooth, but these are just a little bit smoother, just a little bit. And that's what makes the big difference. And then later on, we're going to go over this neck one more time with the buffer wheel. And we're going to buff it all up real nice so that everything is just smooth as smooth can be. Okay, so we're going to take our rag here, a little bit more rubber compound on it, and we're just going to go up and down these frets. And tell you what, we're going to do that to all these frets and up and down the neck here, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. We had to take a little bit of time off and put things aside for a minute. We had to put this beautiful Les Paul on the side for a minute and take care of some other things, but we are back to it. And I took a look at it, and I'm going, man, I know we buffed it and polished it and did all kinds of good stuff to it, but it just did not look right. So, for our last resort, I decided, hey, I'm just going to take some good old Carnauba car wax. I mean, it's just wax. There's no polishing or anything like that, so it's not made to polish, just made to wax. So it doesn't, take off the old, like turtle wax. Turtle wax has an abrasive in it. This does not. Okay? So we put it on both sides, and I think you can see what a difference it made. Look at that. I mean, it's shining. I don't think it was this shiny when it came out the factory. Look at that. I mean, it's still, there's a couple of little blemishes in it here and there. There's one that's like right there. There's a couple of little spots that, it's because it's 21 years old, But look how beautiful this thing looks. A black guitar. Black. And it looks this nice after 21 years. Looks like there's a little something right there, don't it? What is that? It's dust. Let's see if we can make it go away. Yep. He made it go away. It's just dust. But look at her, look at her, look at her, look at her. Whew. All right. I could do that all day. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We'll put the wax away. That makes me happy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to slide this down here. Okay. And we're going to turn this on the side here because that's not the headstock's not touching. Okay, and okay, we got the whole neck and stuff in the shot. Okay, we have leveled the fretboard. We have went ahead and went over with the leveling beam. We got all the perfectly level. We crown the frets so that they're not flat, because when you sand them down, they're flat. So we made them on a point, and we are starting to polish them. So what we are going to do is, we already went over it with some steel wool. That kind of gets it smooth, and it smooths out the fretboard quite a bit too. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get out our tools and stuff. We started to do this last time, I think. We've already started to do this, but we're going to do it again. But this time, I'm going to use our little guard here, so we don't try not to make so much of a mess. And we are going to use a little bit of a sponge. Yes, we are. If I can find it, what I do with it. Put it down here. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this here. Well, let's try something else. Let me see. Where's my other rag? All right, we're just going to put it on a rag. All right, where's my polishing hot? Here we go. Went ahead and put everything away. Now, I'm not worried about getting a little bit of stuff in the on the fretboard and stuff like that. This will clean right up, and we're not trying to get it all over the place. But anyway, let's just zoom in a little bit. Oh, the other way. Okay, what we're basically doing is these feel pretty smooth, but if you run your finger across the top of it, you can still hear a little bit of a. We don't want that one. So I think I did this one. See, that one you can't hear, but that one you can. So they're still not really as smooth as they could be. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them as smooth as they can be. So we're just going to take, in fact, I'm going to start at the top up here. So we can get in the shot. There's the top. We'll move right in there. Okay, start at the top here, and we're just going to sort of wipe a little bit of that across there. I'm going to wipe a little bit across a couple of these here. And then we'll just kind of go back and forth like that. It doesn't take a whole lot, just a couple of passes over it. Okay. It will widen out a little bit. Whoop. Okay. I'm not just going to go back and wipe up the excess right there, but I'm just going to kind of keep it right pinpointed in one spot. I'm trying to keep my finger right on top of the fret. I'm trying to keep my pressure finger right on top of the fret. So that's where it's going to be cutting. Okay, and we'll just kind of keep on doing this. Now, if you want to, when you put a little bit of, here's what I do. When I put a little bit of this on there, I don't leave a big glob of it like that. I kind of scrape it off a little bit. Okay, so that I'm not using so much. I don't want to get a whole lot on the fretboard, but I want to have enough to get the frets polished. But it's not really killing things either, you know. I'm not trying to get a lot of it on there, just a little. Go ahead and just spread a little bit of this on there. A couple, 2, 3 frets at a time. Tell you what, you guys kind of get the process here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up and down this. And I like to take my time, so I don't want to rush through it because you guys are watching. You know, I want to do it, and I want to make sure that it's done right and it takes a good time. So we're going to polish these up to within an inch of their life. Alrighty, we are back. And we have done some things to this while we were gone. See, if things ain't right, well, I don't let it pass, you know. I mean, a lot of this I do with my hand, I feel, and especially right here. This is, without a doubt, the most important part of the guitar. It's judged, this right here is how people judge it. This edge right here. If this is smooth and feels comfortable, the whole guitar feels good and comfortable, just like that. So we had to go through, I had to go back over this and make this just right and perfect. But we got everything cleaned up, we got everything polished up, all the frets are polished up. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to clean the fretboard one more time. We're seeing that we got all the big gunk and junk off of it. We're just going to use a little bit of good old tissue here. We'll put a little water tissue and a little bit of rubbing alcohol on there. You know, what I'm doing right here to this guitar, going over it, cleaning it up, setting it up, getting it just perfect, you know, no stone unturned. is without a doubt the best money you will ever spend on a guitar. It's the best. You want to call it a mod, but it's the best thing. It's better than getting a new set of pickups. It's better than getting new tuners. You know, it makes your guitar the best it can be. And that is exactly what it does. It takes the things that your guitar comes with and makes those the best that they can be. And I have not seen a guitar yet that I can't get so that every note plays perfectly in tune up and down the neck. You know, we stick a tuner on the top of it and you tune the open strings and you go, okay, I'm in tune, okay? And you take your time and you get that just right. You get that tuning just right. Those strings are perfectly tuned. The open string is perfectly tuned. But when you start playing notes, keep that tuner on. Start playing some notes up and down the neck. Does that tuner go right straight up to the note you're playing, or does it go a little sharp? Or does it go a little flat? What's it doing? You know, if it's not playing perfectly in tune, then it's not right. Then it needs to be set up. And that's what we can do on any guitar. I don't care if you drag one out of the garbage. And just as long as it ain't busted all up and stuff like that, hey, we can make that guitar play perfectly in tune up and down the neck. We can get it so that it sounds harmonious and that it's working the way it's doing the things that a guitar is supposed to do, only it's doing those things a little bit better. It's, you know, what we do is we have a few, we don't give away all of our secrets. We have a few things that we do to guitars that make them sound just a little bit better, perform a little bit better, play a little bit easier, you know, just act a little smoother, you know, are a little bit more, have a little bit more of the things that you're looking for in a guitar. So, you know, without a doubt, if you have a guitar, if you're a guitar player, take your guitar to get it set up. Take it to somebody who knows what they're doing and that can get it in the sweet spot so that it's, you know, it'll believe me, you will not believe the difference. And I want to make a little comparison. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some good old rubbing alcohol, or not rubbing alcohol, we're going to put some coconut oil on this neck here, and I like coconut oil because it doesn't soak in real quick and stuff. But anyway, you know, I recently got a new set of tires on my car. And I tell you one thing, I could not believe, you know, the car drove pretty good and stuff before, but I could not believe what a difference it made. It made it feel like a brand new car. It really did. I just couldn't believe it. And getting a setup on your guitar is sort of the same kind of a concept. You know, you're putting a brand new set of tires on it. It's like taking it in and you say to your, like you take your car into your mechanic and you say, hey, I want everything taken care of. I want you to go over the whole car. I want you to make sure that everything's where it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be, working right, perfect, and you know, everything. I want you to go over the whole car, paint everything, make it look beautiful, completely redo this car. And that's kind of what we're doing with this guitar. You know, we go through and we make sure that everything is working perfectly. We make sure that everything is shining. And I tell you one thing, in a lot of cases, well, no, I'm not going to say in a lot of cases, I'm going to say in 100% of the cases, I don't care how expensive the guy, unless you got a custom shop, you know what I mean? Unless you had the guys down at Fender, you know, toiling over your guitar for, you paid thousands and thousands of dollars for it. You know, it still needs to be set up. And I can guarantee you that I can take the average off-the-shelf guitar, even like this guitar right here, this Les Paul that was probably $1,000, brand new, still needs to be taken and set up and put in the sweet spot. And so I can pretty much guarantee you and tell you that any guitar that has a setup, that has been set up, is better than it has ever been. It's better than it came from the factory, and it's in the best shape of its life right then and there. After you've went over it and you've got it all right, it's in the best shape of its life. Never been doing better. Never been sounding better, but never been playing better. And as long as you keep it set up and stuff like that, it's going to continue to do those things for you. It's going to continue to play good for you, sound good. You know, it's just going to be the one that you go and you pick up when you decide you want to play some guitar. You go, man, I'm going to play that one. I got a guitar that's a dog cheap. It's a Lion, you know. They're a dime a dozen. A dime a dozen. You can go to the pawn shop, probably get one of those for $40. But you know what? I went through it and I kind of got it, you know, where it plays like it plays beautiful. Plays beautiful. Can't argue with that. Okay. Now that I've put some coconut oil on there, can you see how nice and hydrated that looks now? I mean, look at. I mean, it's really, really needed. But one thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give it a little buff. We're gonna run the buffer over it, because that's what we do, and we're gonna be real careful not to get around the body too much. You know, because we don't want to mess nothing up on there. But we're going to get up here and we're going to give this sucker going over. Now see, we're going to make sure we know which way the pad is turned, because we want the pad to turn off the fretboard. So I'll go this way, up this way, and then I'll go this way, up this way. Yeah, they're getting good and shiny. All right, that's all she needs. Get a nice good shine on there. Hope that wasn't too loud for everybody. All right, now the next step is we're going to take our nice little microfiber cloth here. We're just going to kind of go over this and give it a nice rub down. Oh, and can you see how nice and shiny those frets are getting? We got a shiny guitar. Oh, and look at all the black that's coming off of there. That's from the polishing of the frets. So, yeah, we're getting some black off of there. You gotta get all that buff stuff, get all that stuff off there, get everything nice and clean, get it all ready to go. And you know, we'll get it all clean and rub down and stuff like that. And you know, I like to still, you know, feel with the rag when I'm running my thing. Is anything catching? Is that smooth across there with that rag? You know, how's it feel? You're always feeling the guitar. Always feeling it. Because if something don't feel right, it's not going to feel right when they're playing it, you know? So we're going in there and we're giving the wood. I'm giving the wood a good rubbing. Is what I'm doing now. Just kind of giving it a good rubbing. And I'm going to do one last thing too before we, you know, put the tuners on it and stuff like that. When we'll be finally done with this board, is I'm just going to kind of give it a little rub with my fingers. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, after you kind of rub your finger over it like that right there, it just feels a little bit different. It's like you're giving it a little nasty little. Just kind of give it the old finger rub. But nobody else does this. So this just, and I can feel the difference. I can feel the difference when I'm rubbing it like this. It's smoothing it out. It really is. And that's why I do it. Because it feels different. You know, I was going, one time I was rubbing on there, I'm going, hey man, what's up with that, you know? Start rubbing it, and I'm going, hey, that's starting to feel smoother. And then we'll get, you know, it just kind of physically smooths things, you know. I don't know what it's doing, but it's making it smoother. Okay, now we'll go with the rag one more time. Yeah, this is not a fake. It's the real thing. We got some good inlays. We got some Gibson branded pots. We got, you know, Gibson branded pickups in here. See, looking good. Okay, I think we're done with this fretboard. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of give it the old test like that. And man, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it's smooth, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Because you know, that's where you fall in love right there. Man, a guy goes like this. He puts his hand across that. And like, you know, it's like you see it's like love at first sight. You know what I mean? It's love at first handle, and then you play that chord, and you play it a little bit. You do a little run up and down, and you feel how smooth and how low the action is, and how just it feels so comfortable. And when you hear that chord, it sounds so full. That's just what this does, man. It's just, you know, I don't know why people are knocking my damn door down trying to get their guitar done, because it's just, if they only knew, you know, they go out and they buy some new pickups and they buy some new, you know, some new tuners, and they think that, man, their guitar sounds like crap, you know, I need a new amp and I need new this and that. I tell you one thing, there's only two things, you see that? Two things that you need. You need a guitar that's been set up professionally, that's playing and tune up and down the neck and everything sounds harmonious. And you need a good speaker in your amp. That's all you need. Those are the two main contributors to your sound. You got those taken care of, you're gonna have good sound. Okay, tell you what, let's move this down. Moving my coffee out of the way. I gotta have that coffee. You know, I am with the coffee. Oh, back here. Is this where we're at now? Okay. Well, I'm gonna go down a little bit like that. Okay. All right. And I gotta tighten this up a little bit because it's sinking. There we go. Thank you very much. And we're gonna widen in or tighten in or do something like that. I don't know what the heck I'm doing anymore here. All right. And we give them a shot. There. Hey. It's in the shot. What do you know? Okay, we're going to tilt that up a little bit. Is it still in the shot? Nope, we got to tilt it up now. All right, now we're doing good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these tuners in here, and we basically just, you know, went over them a little bit, gave them a little bit of a rubbing with a nice clean rag. Gets them all nice and shiny. There wasn't really much done with them anyways. So we're going to go ahead, and if we remember, it takes a washer and a nut. So we're going to stick this up through the back here, and then we're going to stick our washer on, and our washer has a little bevel on the top, as you can see right there, and it's flat on one side, so the flat side goes down, bevel side up. You stick your nut through there, and we're just going to finger tighten it down right now. We're not going to tighten it up yet. We don't want to do that. We still want it to move around a little bit so we can go in the back and we can put our screw in. So now we got to determine which side is which over here. So that is this side right here. We're just going to put these on the side that they belong. See, we got that one right there, and I got another one. See, now this one goes over here, and this one goes over here, and that means this one must go over here. Yes, sir. Okay, we'll put this side on. Bada boom, bada bang, and I'm up over here getting the washer and the nut right in the first position there, you know what I mean? Get the nut on or the washer on the nut the right way. Good Lord. Okay, there we go, and we're picking that up. Put that over. Right down there. And once again, while you're reassembling it, if something don't feel right, man, you know, it ain't clicking, check it. Make sure that it's doing right, you know, that there's not something wrong with it. Okay, we're putting that side on there. Nut right. Yeah, we get things that wax really shine things up real nice. You know, that makes the big difference too. You know, because guitar players in general, they're a funny bunch. You know, and you kind of get across, you know, there's like people in society, you know, they're just, you know, there's different people, you know. There's some people that only want, you know, the Gibson brand name stuff, you know, nothing else is better for them. You know, they can afford it. And you know, depending, it doesn't really matter what level they play at, they still, you know, they have a Gibson. So I guess, you know, if you go out and you get yourself a Gibson and you got a nice Marshall amp or something like that and you still sound like crap, I guess it's your fault, isn't it? You know, I mean, you know, you can't blame nothing else. So, okay, we're going to flip this over. Alright. Be careful not to, you know, mess nothing up. Alright. We're going to get ourselves back in the shot. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. Alright, now, where's my little screwdriver? Alright, getting out the little screwdriver. And we're going to take got to get 6 screws. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are the small ones. Small, small, small. Okay. So, and here's a little trick that I like to do. See, I don't know if you can see this, but I put the screw on the end of the screwdriver, and then I hold my finger on it to hold it on. That way we can line it all up. I can get it right there in the hole, and it's on the screwdriver, and I can just start screwing it in. Easy peasy. Just like that there. Now, if you remember, we got another hole back there, but we ain't worrying about that because, you know, it's not all that important. And we could fill it, and, you know, put a little touch of paint on there so you can't see it. But, you know, it's not that important. It doesn't really matter. In the world of guitars, that really doesn't matter. You can automatically see that it had a pair of Clusons on it, and that you took them off. Okay, that's what you did. Now these screws here, this lines everything up real nice, but I don't want to put these screws down real tight. Just getting them in there. They are just to keep the tuner from twisting around inside here. Just to keep it from twisting. It's not holding it down or anything like that. It's held down from the other side with the nut and everything. As soon as we get these on and you know, just right, we're going to go around the front and we're going to tighten down those nuts, and we should be in business. But one thing we're going to do after that is we're going to give the tuners a little bit of a turn. You know, we want to turn them just a little bit, and we want to make sure that they're turning the way they're supposed to. They're not, you know, doing anything funky. Yeah, that screw went just a little bit difficult. Don't like it. So, right here. Yep. You know, it's what I do to these, you know, it's something that I wanted to do myself, you know, and I started watching YouTube years ago after I had my open heart surgery. I started watching YouTube and I started playing the guitar again, and you know, I started learning and I started experimenting and I started getting knowledge, and the more knowledge I had, the more experience you know, the more things that I learned, the more it made me think, and the more it made me think about exactly what the guitar does, what it's supposed to do, you know, and it made me do things to it and come up with things that nobody else was doing. Now these were just a little bit loose on this side, so I'm just giving the screw on the end just a little bit of a turn, and that gives it a nice little, the way it's supposed to. So I'm still just a little bit loose. I wouldn't say loose, but you know, you want to have so that they all turn with about the same amount of pressure. You know, one doesn't turn harder than the other one. That one's just a little bit under. Needs to be tightened up just a little bit. And you know, and then when we get the strings on them, if they're just too tight to turn, then we'll loosen them up a little bit. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, we have got that right there all taken care of. Look at that. Oh yeah, yeah, buddy. You know, and we should clean the back of this neck off just a little bit. And what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to take just a little bit of this rubbing alcohol and put it on this rag right here. And we're just going to kind of skim it over here real quick. Okay. We're going to do anything we don't need to. Right in there. Wipe it right straight off. Get all them fingerprints and schmutz and junk like that off there. Yeah, yeah, buddy. All right. Yeah, all right, we're going to flip this back over, give it a little bit of a... All right. She's looking good on the front side. All we got to do is get a truss rod cover on it now. I want to make sure that this is looking good too, so we're going to give this just a little bit of wax too. I got a little bit left on my thing from waxing up the body, so we're just going to put a little bit of the wax right on there. Let that dry up. Don't take long. Just get a little haze on it, and then we can wipe it right off. And looky there, look how nice that shines. So I gotta do, you just put a little, put a little wax on there and wipe it off. It's kind of like cleaning a car. A lot of the stuff that I use here is just junk you use on a car. Car wax, this and that. No, I don't think so. What do I need here? I'm looking for screws. We'll just put these in here, okay? Put that right there. Put a tiny screw. Put the other little tiny one right there. Screw that there down. Oh, we got extra screws because there was extra screws in those little holes. Of course. It makes perfect sense. And this is not the screw that goes in there. This is too big. What do I got left to put screws in? I shouldn't have anything left to put screws in. I got these two little shorties here. Let's see if that makes any, see if these go in there. I don't think they do, but they might. Where to go? I don't know. I'm having, trying not to have difficulties. Difficulty. My difficulties is called we'll get it, we'll get it, we'll get it, we'll get it. See, you just gotta have patience, man. Keep trying. Yeah, that one's going in right in. It's not going in right, man. What is the deal? Why do I having screw problems? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I got it now. So those screws were, and see, that's the thing with guitars, man, is that, they'll have a screw that's one size, and then the next, they'll have another screw that's just like a freaking micro bigger. Just barely bigger. And you're like, Jesus. No, sir, I don't like it. But we're going with it. Yeah. There we go. And we just gotta, so sometimes you gotta get the screw started right. You get it started wrong, it's not gonna work. Okay. And we are getting through it. Put a little support on the back there while I'm screwing it down. No, I don't like that screw. It's coming out. I don't know what the problem with the screw is. The screw's got an attitude or something. It's like, that's not me, I'm going there. What you guys talking about, man? Yeah, see, that's what I didn't want to do. But that's got to be it. Yeah, that's got to be it. That don't look right. Because it ain't right. That is not the screw that goes in there. Where's the screw that goes in there? It's hiding someplace. It's like, I don't want it to go. I'll find you, track you down. You're in here somewhere, brother. We want to find you. Alright. I think I found it. Yep, there we go. Alright. Alright, we're all screwed up good. Alright, we got truss rod cover on there. Jeez. It's never so difficult. Oh, that's widened out a little bit. Alright. And let's get our area cleaned up a little bit. Move our camera back. Just spilled my picks all over the place. That was real good. Alright, how we doing over here? Alright, we're gonna get a shot. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's move this beauty into the picture here so we can see what we're doing. Alright. Ooh, look at that. Looking good. Okay, so I think it's time to take a look at our parts here. Oh, we gotta put this too. Yeah, we still got this. We have got to deal with this, don't we? What are we gonna do with this? We're gonna give it a wax job, or are we going to, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep it off, and we're gonna do something special with it, but we're going to let it be a surprise. Because I don't gotta put it on right now. I can put the strings on it, I get it all set up, and do all the good things that we need to do to it. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take this bridge here. This bridge looks nice and clean. It doesn't look all gacked up or anything. I'm going to trust that it works. You know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And that it is set up in the neighborhood that it needs to be. And this over here, these pieces over here, they look like they're pretty good and shiny, not all scratched up and nothing like that. So I don't think they need any help. So we are going to put this on the way it's supposed to go with the screws going towards the back. Okay, and she sets right on there right. And we are going to get us out. Hey, it's time for some strings here. And what do we got here? We got our favorites. Ernie Ball 9 through 42s. Best there is. And we'll go ahead and start getting this puppy all taken care of here. Alright. There we go. We got some strings out. Okay, let's get the tools we need. We can find them. Now just finding tools. Now we're going to do it. Here's my big. Alright, I got something to cut the wires with, cut the strings with. And I need a winder, which I got over here. Hey, got a winder. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. And we got some strings and a winder and something to cut them off with. Okay, I think we're doing good. Alright, we're going to slide this down just a little bit so we get it in the end of the shop, kind of. Alright. And maybe we'll just kind of go bam, because I think you can kind of see down here. Alright, cool. We're good. We're good, good. Okay, we're going to start off with the big old 42 here. And I'm trying to keep things away from the guitar. Now, here's the question. And I'm already answering the question. The answer is yes, we are going to back wrap it. We're going to wrap it over. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, instead of putting the strings in from the back in this way, from the back of this, because see this is, you know, like it is if it would be on the guitar. Instead of putting them through here, we're going to put them through this side. They're going to come out and go over. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put all the strings through. All the strings through the bridge. I mean, tailpiece, whatever you want to call it. Get all those strings. And then we just wrap them over and tighten them up, clip them off, and man, you got strings on it. And then we'll start the setup of it. We'll start setting it up. Start getting her so she's in the sweet spot. Sounding good. You know, it's not rocket science, but I'll tell you one thing, it's, you know, it's, your guitar just can't get by without it. Excuse me. It's just, your guitar's not happy. You know, it's not doing it's not performing to its full ability. You know, and you're driving a car that's running on, you know, 7 cylinders. You know, it's got a miss in it, or something like that. It's got a clogged air filter or something. You know, it's just not running right. It's not running the way it should. You know, it gets you from point A to point B, you know. It's all right, but it's not, you know, it's not your favorite. You know, it's not doing things, it's not impressing you. And your guitar, when you pick it up, it should impress you. You should go, wow, it sounds so good. Oh, God, I love this thing. And that's what you will do. That's what Johnny's going to do. When he gets his guitar out, he's going to break it out. He's going to say, oh, my God, it sounds so good. And it will. So, we got the strings all through the thing here. And we're just going to slide this on the end. And then we're going to take the one string, take the big heavy string here. We're going to pull that one over, okay? Okay. And then we're going to get a little bit of, I just go about to the next thing. Stuff falling apart down here. Got trouble right here in River City. Alright, come on now. There we go. Let's just do this. Turn it around like this. Run the string through, okay. Now run the string back right to there, okay. And now we were just going to start cranking it from there. Alright. Oh, it just did the old flippity flipperoonie on me. Well, ain't you slick? Oh, we gotta go one time. Man, you know what? Dude, this thing's pissing me off. So, I'll tell you what. I'll be right back because I gotta take care of something. Alright, we are back. I did the sensible thing. Put a piece of masking tape on there to hold it in place while I'm trying to get a string on it, okay? Now let's go back to winding this stupid string. Now remember, when you're winding the string on, you want to go over the string that goes through the hole, and then you want to go under. All the rest of the wraps go under. Alright? Yay, we got our first string on there. What do you know? What do you know? Alright, now we're going to come down here. We're going to leave that on there for a second. And we're going to do this string down here at this end. Measure it off, stick it through. You know the routine. Wind it up. I got to get this other string out of the way here because it's an eye poker. See, you know, sometimes Les Pauls piss me off. You know, they really do. The string, you really got to, when you're trying to restring it, you really got to be careful about how you do it. Because the string will be wrapped around the body, or it'll be over here, and you don't know it. And it's just, like right now, you loosen it up and it gets around the stinking thing. Now I got to remeasure it because I think I got too much out. Alright. Yeah, I had way too much out, see? Just try to get it right. Right there is where it should be, okay? Alright, so we're just winding it up. Sometimes, some days, you know, you just think, man, it's just not my day. Dude. You know, things just end up being a little bit more difficult than they should be. We're kind of having that kind of a day. Okay? So let's not have that kind of day before I poke my eye out with a guitar string here, so. Oh my God. It just went out of there. Good Lord. I tell you what, nobody wants to see me fumbling around with this, so I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We finally got some strings on it. Jeez. And like a big dummy, you know, I make mistakes too. Started getting strings on it, and I remembered that I forgot to tighten down the nuts for the tuners. So I take the strings back off of it, tighten down all the nuts, put the strings back on it. But we finally got it all straight. Now we're going to just tighten these up just a little bit to get some tension on them. Just a little bit of tension. And they're hitting the deck right now. They're on the fretboard. We'll get just a little bit of tension on the other room. All right, we got a little bit of tension on them. All right. Now the next thing we want to do is we kind of want to just set the string height. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out our little handy-dandy measuring gauge, which is, if you've been watching, which I hope you have been, is a good old popsicle stick. But let's tighten it a little bit. We 12th fret right here. Okay, let's just okay. What we're going to do is we're going to move into the shot here a little bit. Well, I guess maybe not. Maybe we'll widen out. All right, there we go. All right, here's the 12th fret right here. We want to have 2/1000ths of an inch, which is what this popsicle is, because I've measured it with my my gauge, and it is, you know, my micrometer, and it is 2 millimeters. So we're going to raise this bridge up here just a little bit, if we can. Ooh, let's see here. Yeah, we got the wheel turning. Yeah, we're going to raise her on up. And it needs to go up quite a bit too, looks like. And we're going to have to raise this side up a little bit too. And it's a good thing that I lubricated these, because now, you know, and that's the reason I didn't put a lot of tension on there, because these don't move once you get tension on them. So we got that one off the deck a little bit. And let's see, let's keep on going here until we get 2/1000ths. They make a tool of that, but I'm just using my finger. This one over here spins pretty good. Okay, so let's, right at the 12th fret. And we are just about there. Tell you what, let's measure it on the other side. See, I like it to be about 1.6. Not there yet. We'll go up a little bit. Nope, that's raising up. So alright, that was a little high, so we're going to take it down just a bit. Sometimes, you know, it's like tuning your string. You want to take it up and bring it down till it's hitting. Or, you know, till it's in tune. I'm moving the string. I want to back up some. See, I can see it's still going up a little bit when it goes underneath there. I don't want it to go up. But it's in the neighborhood right there. Okay? And this needs to go up too a little bit. Alright, I'm going to call that good. Alright. So, we got the string height set. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be right back, because I just thought of something. Alright, well, we got the strings on there. We got them all tuned up and stuff like that. But now comes one of the most important things that keeps your guitar in tune. And that's the stretching of the strings. And basically what you do is just grab a string and you kind of stick it between both hands. You kind of put your thumbs out, if you can see, and you kind of pull back like that. Okay? You pick up the next one, you give it a little stretch. You know? And what you're doing is just you're setting the strings, you're just dynamiting everything down, you're taking all the stretch out of them too, because that's what gets you, is you tune it up, and then you play it a little bit, and the string stretches, okay? And then then it's out of tune. Then you tune it up again, it's out of tune again. See? B. All right, let's tune it up again. Stretch and tune it. Wow, I tuned it. I pulled it way down. Well, it went down to G. Alright, now we're back up to A. C sharp. There we go, there's D. Right there. Okay, G. G went all the way down to D. F sharp. See, that's how much stretch we just took out of them. See where the B is. B's down to A sharp. That went down to D sharp. Alright, we got that tuned back up again. Alright, so let's give it another stretch. We're going to keep on doing this. See, I just felt it go a little bit. That means something set in good. Yeah, you can feel them there. They're setting in. They'll strength down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing this right here until the strings don't stretch out no more. So you can tune it and it's still tuned. Alright, we'll come up on E. There's E. Oh, that one, I'll make that down to A sharp again. There's B. That one down to F sharp, but not too far. Oh. Alright. Close enough. D. Well, that went down to C sharp, and we're going past C sharp. And we're coming up on D. And as you're doing this, you want to listen for any kind of binding or anything like that, you know. There's A. And this went all the way down to D. So we're going to get it back up to E. There we go. Okay, now I think you get the concept here. What we do is we stretch the strings, then we retune them. Then we stretch them and retune them. And we keep stretching and retuning it until we stretch them and we go to retune them and it's still tuned. That's when you know. Or you got to tune it just a micro. That's when you know that you're right there where you need to be. That's stretched strings. So we're going to go ahead and, you know, we'll come back when we're done stretching the strings. Alrighty, we are back. Now it's been a day since we've even done anything to this, but we got it all finished up the other day. We went ahead and we, you know, finished setting the pickup height and stuff like that. We wanted to kind of go over and make sure everything was just the way we wanted it, and everything checked out real good. And kind of just to recap, what we did is, you know, we took it all. We took the parts off of it and stuff. Took the strings off of it. We polished up the body real nice. Got that nice and shiny. As you can see, it's nice and it's shining all over the place. You know, looking real good. We addressed the issues with the tuners. We got the fretboard all taken care of. We got that also. It's playing real nice and smooth. In fact, you run your finger across there right now, and you don't even feel anything. It just feels nice and smooth. It's just the way it's supposed to feel. Just the way it's supposed to feel. And I think that's going to be real nice for them. And we went ahead and we left the pick guard off of it because I think it looks a little bit better with the pick guard off of it. So we're just going to put that back in the case. We gave the case a little bit of love. We went over and cleaned it up. Give it a little bit of armor all, you know, make it look shiny and stuff, you know, just, you know, kind of give it a little protected and stuff so that it can maybe last a few years longer. So we got this one all tightened up right here. Tell you what, let's put the tuner on it. If I can find it. Where's the tuner? What did I do with it? Well. Aha, here it is. Alright, we're going to put the tuner on it. I'm going to take it down here. Let's see. There we go. Put her down here. Ooh. See how she's being staying in tune. Oh yeah, just a hair. Just had to nudge it up a little bit, and that's kind of the way you want it. There. Alright. Is that all tuned back up again? Sounded pretty good. Tell you what, let's check some of them notes. No, I think I want to give these strings another stretch. They were just a little bit more out of tune than I like. So we're going to give them another good stretching. You know, sometimes, you know, those new strings, you want to come back the next day, give them another little stretch. I can still feel there's a little bit coming out of them. We'll see what this looks like. You know, you can. I don't think you can do that enough. Oh, yep. The G stayed pretty good. So did the B. And so did the E. So those are pretty much got the stretch taken out of them, but these upper ones, they need just a little couple more stretchings. Alright, let's give that a shot. Alright. Alright, I'll lay this down here. Turn off my tuner. We got it tuned up pretty good. Check a few things here. Okay, she sounds like she's doing all right across there. Okay. It sounds like it's doing all right. Tell you what, why don't we give it a little try? What do you say? Hey, we'll take it over to and give it a little whirl, see what she says. All right? All right, we'll be right back. All right, well, here we are. And here she is in its black beauty, shiny shininess. Look at that. Oh, man, just so shiny. She's looking so good. Whoa. Whoa, she's looking so good. Yep, and it's a real Gibson, ain't no doubt about that. It's got Gibson all over the place. And them Chibsons don't have dime-sized pots. Doesn't have a, you know, a truss rod nut that's, you know, way down in there and stuff. It's got, everything is legit. So yeah, this is straight. And besides a Les Paul, I mean a fake Les Paul, don't sound like this. Don't sound like that, does it? Let's see what it sounds like clean. Hey, what do you say? Alright, we got all the tone knobs set at about 6. You know, it's got a little bit more ring than it did in the other video. Just a little bit. It's got a little bit more ring in it. That is nice. Now that is the bridge pickup. Here we go, right in the middle. Oh, you gotta have that top one turned up, remember that? So you got your bridge, you got your middle, and then you got your neck. That neck sounds pretty. Can you hear how full it sounds? Yeah, it does sound real nice. Let's turn the tone down a little bit. Roll off that volume, roll off that tone just a little bit. Sounds good, clean, don't it? We like it dirty, don't we? On the rhythm. Here it is on the bridge. She sounds good, definitely does. And you know when you turn it off and you don't have any hum, it's nice and quiet. You know, we turn it up. Here's all the way to turn it up. You know, no hum. Well, you let go of the strings. You know, it does a little bit. You know, but you know, just like that, no hum, no nothing, nice and quiet. Man, she sure does sound good, and it's another successful thing. But you know what? It was out of whack to a certain point. The fret ends needed some attention. You know, they were sticking out some. And after 21 years, you can kind of expect something like that. It's probably never had the fret ends done, so it's a lot smoother along here. The action is real nice. You know, it's playing real nice. The frets are nice and smooth and shiny. You know, the nut is cut to right there. You know, so that all these notes, every last one of these notes, plays perfectly in tune up and down the neck. When you put the tuner on it and you play these notes, they come up perfect. So when you play a chord up here, or you play bar chord or something up here, it sounds right. It sounds the way it's supposed to. You know, and what we just did is we took this expensive guitar, this really nice guitar that was in a good place when it came out of the factory. It was in a good place, but we got it someplace better. We got it in the sweet spot. We tuned it in so that it's tuned perfectly, so that everything is doing what a guitar is supposed to do, and it's doing it even better than it should be. You know, I mean, it's excelling at what it does. Let's put it that way. You know, and if you asked me, if you got a guitar that needs to be set up every few years, and if you ask me, this is the best money you'll ever put in a guitar is getting it set up. It's better than pickups. It's better than tuners. It's better than new strings. It's better than anything. A whammy bar. You know what I mean? I don't care what you do. A setup is the best thing you can do, because you know, if you got new tuners. Okay, let's say you get new tuners. Okay, you don't like the old ones. You think that your guitars, you know, not doing good. You get new tuners. Well, if your notes are still playing sharp up and down the frets, you know, up and down the neck, tuners ain't gonna make much difference. And if your notes are playing in sharp up and down the neck, it ain't gonna matter if you get new pickups, because all the pickups are gonna do is pick up all that sharp noise that's just all over the place. You know, it doesn't matter this, that, or the other thing. You know, doesn't matter if you got a good amp or what. If this neck is not playing perfectly in tune up and down the neck, it's playing notes and chords that are out of sync. You know, they're just not playing right, and it's not gonna sound right, and you're not gonna sound right. So getting your guitar so that the notes play perfectly up and down the neck is one of the most important things you can do. Take your guitar into somebody, get it so that it's playing right, so that it's doing what it's supposed to, so that it sounds full and harmonious, and don't stop until it does. You know when your guitar is like, yeah, that's it right there, that's nice, and that's what this one's doing. You know, it's right there where it's supposed to be. You know, it's doing what it's supposed to. So I'm going to call this one another successful build here. Well, we didn't really build it, but we went over it, and we made it do what it's supposed to. We made it so that it is more valuable than it was before I walked in the door. I'll tell you one thing. You know, it's been polished up, it's been shined up, it's been, you know, it's been rehydrated, it's been given the attention and the love that a nice guitar like this Gibson Studio should get. You know, it should get some good love and attention and be taken well care of. That's why you protect your investment, or bring it to a guy like me who can go through it and make sure that it's still doing the things that it's supposed to do. You know, if you let it just sit around and you never do anything to it, the pots get crusty, the strings get crusty, you know, the pickups, you know, the wiring stuff is all, you know, getting, you know, corroded and stuff like that. Switches stop wanting to work, you know, necks get a little bit out, especially the neck. The neck will get out of whack. You know, so it's you know, the action will be high. If you just let it sit, you know, these strings are going to end up winning. And then if you let it loose, then you know, then it doesn't sit right either. You know, it's just, you have to have it taken in and looked at every once in a while. It's just like going to the doctor. You know, you take your guitar in for a little checkup. You know, it's like taking your car in to get a tune-up on it. You know, you want, you know, your guitar might get you from point A to point B right now, but hey, you know, it doesn't have the performance that you'd like, you know, and it's the same thing with a, you know, like with your car. You know, you got to take it in and get it so that it's running right. You know, maybe only run on, you know, might be have a dead cylinder or something like that. You know, and it's just not running right, and you know, you got to get it fixed up. And then when you get it fixed, you go, oh wow, yeah, this is great. I wish I'd have done this a long time. It's like a brand new car, you know. Well, you know, that's what getting your guitar set up does. It makes it like a brand new guitar. It makes it so that it plays easy and it sounds good, and you want to pick it up and you want to play it all the time, you know. And that's important. I think that's one of the best things that, you know, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to have from your guitar. So anyway, I know that Johnny's gonna love this one. He's gonna get some good playing out of it too. So we're gonna say adios for now. From Mojo Shop Guitar. Baby. Thank you for watching Mojo Shop Guitar. Please like,